Sometimes I just don't even know what to say. I have a problem, and it is the fact that I love deals when it comes to food, and I love to be prepared. So I do have quite the situation going on in my pantries, food storage, and freezers. So this month, kicking off 2023 in January, I wanted to do a pantry and freezer clean out. So if you enjoy cooking from what you already have and cleaning everything out so nothing goes to waste, so you don't have to go to the grocery store as often and save some money, and you enjoy some creative cooking, hook me up with a thumbs up and let's get started. Tonight for dinner, I'm mixing up a quinoa salad. So I have 6 cups of kale right here. There are 2 cans of black beans at the bottom, half of a purple onion, a couple of red and orange bell peppers, 2 jalapenos. I think that's everything in here. I'm about to add my cilantro and my quinoa. I have 2 cups of cooked quinoa. Here come like a cup of chopped cilantro right there, and lime juice and olive oil will be my dressing, and we'll mix it all together and top it with some sausages that I had in my fridge and freezer. This is one of them. Now, when you're doing a pantry clean out, freezer clean out, declutter, start fresh challenge, don't forget to also do a vitamin and supplement clean out as well. Ending up with tons and tons of bottles of all of these different varieties of vitamins and supplements is one of the reasons that I've switched to Care of. Thank you, Care of, for partnering with me on today's video. One of my goals for 2023 is to be much more consistent in my vitamin and supplement taking, and Care of makes that really easy. So you take this super short online quiz. It took me just a few minutes, and then once a month you get this box of individual packets for that day's vitamins. So all you have to do is pull out one of the little guys. I keep it on my kitchen counter, take your vitamins with some water, and go about your day. It's so easy, so simple, and has really cleaned out my quote medicine cabinet from all of the excess bottles that sat there forever, never got used, and ended up getting expired. Care of can help you feel more in control of your health goals this year with personalized guidance, quality products, and encouraging healthy habits so you can see and feel results. The little packets are awesome for on the go, even when you're traveling. Like if you're gonna be traveling for 3 days, grab 3 packets, put them in your luggage, and then you're never gonna have to miss a day. It's really gonna help me be more consistent with my goals this year. And of course, they are going to give you guys an awesome deal. If you want 50% off of your first order, all you have to do is go to takecareof.com and use the promo code FrugalFitMom50 to get 50% off of your first Care of order. So thank you to Care of for partnering with me today, and let's get back to more cooking. January 3rd, I have 4 loaves of half white, half whole wheat bread. I don't know how many days this is gonna last. They'll eat 1 today, 1 tomorrow. I don't think this will last a week, but I did want to take all of the month of January and make all my own homemade bread. First of all, because I have all of the ingredients at my house. Number 2, it saves me money. Number 3, I am rotating through all of the products that I have so they don't go bad. And number 4, it's way more delicious than store-bought bread. That's why. This recipe is my Emily's bread recipe. It is on my website. Also wanted to mention that I meal prepped some salads with the veggies that were in my fridge. These are for lunches. I had 4, but Dave took one already. So I have 2 more here, and then this one is for myself for lunch today. We are using up all of the veggies that I have been purchasing. So yay for not letting all of the produce end up in the garbage in 2 weeks. To go with the roast tonight, I was gonna do potatoes, and then I realized I have a ton of rice. So I found 2 very small bags from a meal box kit, this huge container, half of this container. This is the big one. I condensed most of it. I'm gonna pour the rest into this one into this little bag. So I will have gotten rid of like 3 packages and condensed it down into this small package. Now I also have a large storage container for rice because I use it so often, but it is full to the top. So this is like my excess use this first items. This feels really good to get rid of all of this. Oh hey, look what I found. Chia seeds And while I have eaten chia like pudding, overnight breakfast bowl, I don't know what to call them. What should we call them? Chia breakfast pudding bowls. Breakfast chia power bowls. I don't know. We're gonna make one because I actually have everything to do it. So I have some almond milk right here, chia seeds. We're gonna use the maple syrup for our sweetener. I just have a little bit of this one. And some frozen fruit that we will use to top it with tomorrow. Oh, and protein powder. I'm just gonna mix it up in this little jar and I'm only gonna do 2 servings. So that's 1 cup of the... Shh. And stop. 1 cup of almond milk. Boom. I guess I could have used that to measure. It's been a long day, guys. 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of your chia seeds. I hope that's right. Oh, I do need more milk. I need 1 cup, 1 1/4 cup. Okay. Have you guys ever really looked at these?
No.
They look like bugs. I mean, they're not, but the static electricity makes them jump to the side of the container. It's like really freaking me out. They legit look like bugs. They're not bugs, but they look like bugs, right?
Oh, that's me like make my skin crawl.
Okay, they're fine, Haley.
They're jumpy.
Organic chia seeds, this is so weird. Whatever, we're doing it. We're doing it. Oh look, there's a recipe. Oh, they call it vitality pudding. Huh. And I do need 1 more 1/4 cup of the almond milk. So I will add that right now. And we're doing 2 scoops of the protein powder. It's 1 scoop per serving. I'm doing vanilla, and I'm just using the scoop that it comes with. This one is 120 calories per scoop, 24 grams of protein. So that's a legit breakfast, man. I have yet to try my sister's egg white and protein powder shake. I'm trying to get up the guts. I may try it this week. We'll report later. 4 teaspoons of your sweetener. We'll just eyeball that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And stick it in the fridge. Just kidding, you gotta stir it. Can I give you crazy eyes to the whisk? Whiskey crazy eyes.
Are you giving sexy smolder?
I'm giving him the smolder.
With just a hint.
With just a hint of crazy eyes. That actually mixed together pretty nicely and it's fairly liquidy, but you don't have to do this overnight. It just has to sit for 4 hours. So you could do it during the day, have it for dessert or whatever. So their chia seeds can like make their gelatinous pudding. Who was like, look, these seeds make this liquid solid. Let's eat it. Like, who was the first guy that did that? I would like to know. Okay, I am gonna cover this with saran wrap. You can do it in a jar, but I can't find any of my jars. I'm popping that in the fridge and we'll check it out tomorrow morning. Okay, next morning, here is our chia pudding. Look how thick this is. Actually smells really good. Smells like vanilla. I'm gonna pour some into this bowl right here. I find this incredibly filling. Like, I tried one and I couldn't even eat the whole thing. So we're just doing a little bit right here. Make sure you spill it on the counter. My favorite way to eat it is with either fresh berries, which I don't have, or granola, which I do have. A little sprinkle of granola. Please ignore the noise of the microwave. I'm thawing meat. You can see it's like thick, but not like Jell-O pudding thick. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, it's so good. This is freaking bomb. The protein powder makes it perfectly sweet, so it doesn't have that bitter tang. I find chia seeds can be a little bit bitter. Oh my gosh, some strawberry on this would be super, super nice, but honestly, it's good just the way it is. I would encourage you to make this. Tonight for dinner, I'm making a quinoa salad, and I wanted to put some cooked flavored chicken on top. So I got out this whole package of chicken breasts, sliced them into tender looking strips so they'll cook a little bit better. And I have had these dressings in my pantry for a year. I'm finally using them. So this flavor will be the Baja Goddess, and this flavor over here will be the Greek Goddess. I'm just gonna pour the whole thing on top of these and stick them in the fridge until I'm ready to cook them tonight. Tonight for dinner, I'm putting together like a fridge pantry clean out. So we had some leftover rice. It is buried under here, right there. Whoop. This is some leftover cooked chicken. I found a bag of broccoli in the freezer, so I cooked that up, and I found a bottle of orange sauce, Panda Express orange sauce in the pantry. I topped the whole thing with the sauce. So I'm gonna have like this orange chicken broccoli bowl for my dinner tonight. Doesn't that look great? Okay, mixing up my cake mix. I'm using this one that I got at the discount store. I do know this is an excellent price, but we're tweaking it because we're adding, well, the eggs aren't tweaking it. We're doing milk instead of water. This is 2%, I think. Bloop. Butter instead of oil. Bloop. And we will be adding the Oreos. We're just experimenting here. That's what the kitchen's all about. Having fun in the kitchen. Trying things and see if they work. And if they don't, I'm sure it'll taste good anyway. Now for the piece de resistance. Oh. You don't know you're beautiful. Dude, I have no idea if this is gonna work. It'll be fine. How can this be bad, right? Look at this. I'm so happy. It's my birthday gift to me. It's not your birthday. Oh, right. My birthday gift to Ryan. But seriously, can we talk about the color of the shirt I'm wearing? Because, dang, Gina. She's cute. No, good time. Does it mean I love my kids if I give them raw eggs to eat? Yes. Lick that. Do you notice it's not really spreading? Like, it says to do 2 of them. 23 minutes. Okay, here we go.
I will lick the magic utensil.
This? That's pretty good. There we go, birthday cake. Ta-da! And the bow. So tonight's dinner truly was freezer and pantry items. So I had a bottle of sauce, a bag of pasta, some onion in the fridge, some frozen bell pepper that I had frozen before, some spicy Italian sausage in the freezer, some Parmesan cheese tucked in the cheese drawer. So I put this together. This salad is left over from yesterday, so I'll finish that up as well. And then have birthday cake for dessert. January 6th, 4 more loaves of bread. Okay, I'm having Andrew mix up my last bag of the Kodiak protein balls, which are pretty good. And in doing so, we'll be able to eliminate this container, because this is almost empty, and part of that one. But this huge box will be able to leave my pantry today. I love it. It is the middle of the month and I wanted to do a quick check-in to see kind of how it's going. Now, because I've been trying really hard to eat what we have, like all the leftovers get eaten, all the homemade bread that I've been making gets eaten, I haven't made as big of a dent as I thought I would. Because we haven't really been throwing away any leftovers, we've been utilizing them a lot. Most dinners that I have made have lasted 2 nights instead of 1 night, so it's a significantly lower portion of dinners. However, breakfasts and lunches, the homemade bread that I've been making, we've been going through that like crazy. We've been paring down the peanut butter, the honey, the jams, and the pantry, believe it or not, is looking a lot less overflowing. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's looking slim because it isn't. In fact, as I show you these updated pics right here, you might think that it's still way too much, and you're right, it is still way too much, but I can see visible progress in the first 2 weeks of January. The only things I purchased at the grocery store have been fruits, vegetables, dairy, a little bit of meat here and there. You will see that at the end of the month when you see the full grocery hauls for the month of January. I'm thinking I'm gonna be under $200 for all of January, and I did include quite a bit of cheese purchases, and cheese is expensive. But what is life without cheese?
Got any cheese?
Exactly, no life at all. I have started making my own bread consistently, like 100% my own bread. I haven't purchased any bread from the bread store. I have whole wheat berries. I've been grinding them with a wheat grinder and making my own homemade, like half and half white wheat. So that's been really fun to get back into that habit. Also, in order to get to know my kids' friends, we have instituted Waffle Wednesday. So I make homemade waffles for all of my kids' friends. They are all welcome to come to my house Wednesday mornings for breakfast for waffles, and then they can catch the bus to school when the bus comes by. So as far as breakfasts go, once a week we do a big batch of waffles. I like quadruple my recipe. Thankfully, I have a fully stocked pantry with flour, baking powder, eggs, oil, and syrups. And I've really been enjoying making some homemade snacks. In fact, today I am putting together some coconut chocolate date truffle bites. So let's go mix those up right now. So here are all the items I found in my pantry to make the coconut truffle bites. I think I need nuts as well. And I did get this out to melt, to dip them in some melted chocolate when I'm finished. But I've had these dates for quite a while. I have some cocoa powder, 2 different kinds of shredded coconut. I think I'm gonna try and use this one first because it's open, and then finish off with this one. And you do need a food processor. You could also use a blender, but I don't think it will work quite as well. So I'm gonna bust out my food processor and start mixing this up. I use cashews because it's what I have. The recipe does call for almonds, but whatever. And 30 whole dates, pitted, please. And you're gonna let it rip for a while because you're gonna try and make cashew butter with like date syrup. So hit that button and let her run. Okay, this is about 3 minutes worth of mixing, like this. So now we will add the rest of the ingredients. I have a half a cup of coconut right there, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I have this nice big one from Thrive Market. I haven't even used it yet, just opened it. So, it smells great. And some coconut oil. 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. I'm gonna let that run until it turns into a big giant ball of cashew, date, coconut, chocolate ball. Okay, I have some melted chocolate right here. This is milk chocolate, and these have been sitting in the fridge for a while now. And I like to use a fork and a gloved hand so I can kind of deal with these without making too much of a mess. And if you want to thin out the chocolate, you could add shortening oil. I only had some oil, so that's what I used. And even still, it is quite thick. This will be a nice thick chocolate coating. Wanted to show you what I am putting together for Dave and Tyler's snack bag for a gymnastic meet this weekend. So they'll be gone tonight and all day tomorrow, and they wanted some snacks. So I'm just using my pantry. I'm not buying anything. I might make some protein bars out of what I already have, but here's what we have going on. I have some dried fruit, passion fruit, and this Trader Joe's baby sweet pineapple. If you've never had this one, oh my gosh, it's delicious. Dill pickle taffy. There's a shop in St. George, the Taffy Shop, where you can get a million flavors, but they have this one. I found some bags of goldfish. I have this bag of street corn that's being eaten. I found a little container of candy. So I shoved the candy right there. So I'm cleaning out my pantry, but I'm also providing like fun snacks so they don't have to go out to eat. So I'm gonna see what else I can find. I think it's always a good idea to throw in a few Cliff Bars, a few Lenny and Larry's cookies. So we'll put a few of those in. Ooh, I have Belvitas, so I might get a few of these as well. I think we're set. So now I'm gonna get started on some protein bars and grab a few pieces of fruit for a cooler they can also take. So they have this dry container and also a little mini cooler for their trip. Don't have to spend a dime, and I'm using what I have. It's been a long time since I have made these peanut butter protein bars, and they're really easy. It's 4 ingredients, and they're perfect for athletes who need a lot of calories, something that tastes really good, and you need to get some protein powder out of your house. So in this bowl, I have 2 cups of peanut butter and 1 3/4 cup of honey. Pop it in the microwave for 90 seconds. I'll see you then. Next up is 2 1/4 cup of a protein powder. I'm using vanilla. You can use chocolate. You can use whatever you want. This is the one I have right now. Can't remember where I got this. It feels like a Costco purchase. This is gonna go in and we'll stir this. And right now is when I switch between a whisk and a wooden spoon because it's gonna get thick. So let's dump that in. And last ingredient, 1 cup of oats. These are quick oats, but either is fine. And get some muscle in there and stir it until combined. Whoo, she's thick. Next up, I have a 9x13 glass dish. It will help you serve it better. And we're gonna dump all of this batter into here, and you do need to refrigerate it until it is solid. This has to stay refrigerated, otherwise it just turns into like a peanut butter protein dip, which I guess could be good. If it's not obvious based on the ingredients, this is not a low calorie snack, which is why I love it for teenage athletes. Because it's so high calorie and dense, they don't have to eat very much of it. Like a little goes a long way. And it really is delicious. This was my daughter's favorite when she would do volleyball tournaments, and it was her teammates' favorite also. They still talk about it. So I'm just gonna spread this out, cover it with some saran wrap, and pop it in the fridge until Dave is ready to cut some up and take it with him. Finishing up the last of my muffin mixes. We're gonna make this blueberry one right now. Instructions on the back: water, vegetable oil. Tonight's dinner is a family favorite, and I should make it more often, and I don't. It began when I had all this extra kale from the kale salad that I made. I, of course, could make another kale salad, or I could make the Zuppa Toscana copycat from Olive Garden. And I had, oh my gosh, Haley's dancing in the background.
It's my favorite.
It's everyone's favorite.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why I don't make it more, but I actually had everything. Ta-da! Potatoes in the outside fridge. Babao, chicken broth in the pantry. An onion. I even had some bacon and hot Italian sausage in the freezer. I got those out last night, stuck them in the fridge to thaw. They are thawed. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the bacon in the, not the fridge, what? The oven right now to get that going. I may actually prep it all like earlier today, because here's the deal. When you have 4 teenagers and a tween, after school, there's no dinner time. Everyone is like, we're over here, we're over here. We've got sports over here. 2 of my kids work over here. We have church activities over here. Dave has meetings, I have meetings. Like, it's just, there's no, we eat dinner at 6. That's not how it goes, because people are in and out all night. And so what I've learned for us is if I make a dinner, something like this can stay warm in the crock pot, and people can eat it as they come in and out, so they can have something, whoever's here can sit down with them. So that is what I'm doing. This bacon is so dang good. I've started buying the 0 sugar bacon. It could be any brand. I've tried multiple brands. Why is it so delicious? I couldn't say, but it is truly delicious. I found this on clearance. This was like some kind of manager special because it was close to the date or something. So I, of course, bought it and stuck it in the freezer so I can have bacon whenever I want. And you know how often I want bacon? Every day. Remember that one time Ted's mom told him he was allergic to bacon?
I don't even know if I'll like bacon.
You know what I've really been enjoying about this freezer clean out, like pantry clean out this month, is I've kind of been getting back to my love of cooking. Have you noticed that, Haley?
I would say yes.
Have you noticed that we've just like kind of been eating a little bit better and like enjoying the food instead of like, oh my gosh, what is dinner going to be? I don't know.
We'll do macaroni again.
Macaroni? Okay. No. So I personally have really been enjoying my clean out the fridge time. Clean out, well, I haven't cleaned out the freezers so much as the pantry. The pantry is looking pretty good. Oh shoot, I forgot to turn the oven on. And I think I'm gonna get out my Bosch and make some bread. What is it about homemade bread that sparks joy? I get asked about my mixer all the time. This is a Bosch universal mixer. I got it for my wedding 20 years ago. It works like a champ. It can handle like 12 cups of flour, like 6 pounds of dough at a time. It's super powerful, I love it. They do still make them. They don't look quite like this anymore, but they do still make them. So if you want one, I can do my best to find one online. They're kind of hit and miss. They change the model, they go out of stock. etc., etc., etc. I do have a lot of these recipes in on my website, frugalfitmom.com, the recipes. Not all of them, I'm working on it. It's a process. I think this bread recipe is also available for purchase. I have like a downloadable PDF if you want to check it out. I think it's frugalfitmom.com/shop. I have a couple of those if you are interested. Okay, 2.5 cups of water. Warm water. So if you can hold your hand in it, you have the right temperature. I have 2 tablespoons of yeast. I like to keep this in my fridge or freezer. 3 tablespoons of sugar. Got to give the yeast something to eat. And 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. This is a tenderizer when you use it in baking. I use it in my pie crust. It makes it so flaky and soft. It will not taste like vinegar. And I will let this sit for 10 minutes or so. Okay, it has been 10 minutes. My yeast is nice and bubbly, smells like bread. So I will add 1 tablespoon of salt and 1/3 cup of oil. You could also use melted butter, whatever oil you want is totally fine. And 6 to 7 cups of flour. I'm just using white flour today because I want this bread to be a little floofier instead of dense. So I'll start with 3 and get it mixing, and then just add flour steadily until the flour dough ball pulls the dough off the sides. So it's time to start the rise punch down process. So I have this bowl right here, which is some oil at the bottom of it, and the dough will go in here, and I'm going to rise it anywhere from 2 to 5 times, depending on how much time you have or how soft you want your bread to be. I'm gonna try and go maybe 4 times. So you're just letting it rise until it's doubled, and then punch it down, and then let it rise until it's doubled, and then punch it down. So that would be a 2 rise. We're gonna go for 4. So on the 4th punch down, I will form it into loaves and put it on a baking sheet. But here's what the dough looks like in the bosh right here. So it's a touch sticky, but that just means it's going to be perfect. If you do it until it's not sticky at all, you've added too much flour and your bread will be a little on the dry side. And I gotta research the topping on this. My sister-in-law makes like this honey glaze with something else in it. I don't know what she puts in it, but I gotta look that up and see if I can figure out what goes on that, because it makes the top like sweet and salty. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So I'm just coating this in oil like that. Now I can wash this and get it back out again to make cookies. And I like to use just a clean kitchen towel like this. So we'll put that on there, put it in a warm spot. I'm gonna set the timer for 30 minutes, but depending on the warmth of your house or kitchen, it could take longer or shorter than that. Here is my dough after I've let it rise 4 times. This will be number 5 punch down. So I'm gonna form it into loaves right now. I just wanna make sure I have my cookie sheets ready to go. And I'm gonna be using my baking mats for the first time ever. These black ones are the ones I got from Walmart, Christmas clearance. And this one is from Thrive Market. So we'll see which one works better. I'm really, really curious because I've never done these before. Are you supposed to spray these? Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I've never used these before, so I've no idea what I'm doing. But what I do know is how to work with dough. So we will start with a little bit of flour on a clean counter. Here's my dough. This makes 2 loaves. And as soon as I get these rising, I think I'm gonna get started actually making the soup. So right now I'm just kind of getting all the big air bubbles out, and I'll divide it into 2 sections. I am totally eyeballing the size here. And when it comes to like French bread, I just like to form kind of a long, skinny loaf. This is not rocket science at all. It's probably not gonna be the most beautiful loaf, but it will be fine. And remember, after you put these on the baking sheets, they're gonna rise for another 20 minutes. So I will go ahead and preheat my oven. So as soon as these are done rising, I can pop them in and they'll be ready to go. I still gotta look up that honey glaze. Here they are, and I will set these to the side. Okay, here's 1 loaf of the French bread. Lesson learned, it needs to be longer and skinnier, obviously. So I'm gonna do some melted butter and a sprinkle of salt on top. It's one of my favorite ways to top rolls or homemade bread. And if you ever made quesadillas, Once you flip the quesadilla in your pan, give it a salt sprinkle. I'm telling you, it will change your life. I'm just using regular old table salt here, and let's give this a slice. It's definitely soft because it just came out of the oven. That salt is everything. I am working on the soup. I have 1 pound of Jimmy Dean spicy hot sausage, 2 onions, and some garlic in here. They are all brown and cooked through, so now I'm adding 8 cups of chicken broth or stock. So I'm gonna kick it off with this in my pantry, and then I found some turkey stock from Thanksgiving in my freezer, so we'll add that as well. Chicken, turkey, it's all the same. I mean, it isn't, but for these purposes, it will work. Okay, this is half frozen, but I'm very excited to get this out of my freezer because these stocks, homemade stocks, take up so much room. And I have 2 more of these small guys. My bacon is standing by. Okay, these are going in. And because all of these are pre-made stocks, we will have to check the salt level. Like, I would not over salt at this point because we don't know what it's gonna taste like. Look at that, look at all these I got out of my freezer. This is thrilling. A good amount of potatoes. I'd say close to 8 cups of sliced Yukon Golds. You can also use red potatoes. Don't use russets in this one though. And then here come my bacon that I cooked earlier. I'm gonna bring this up to a simmer and simmer it for about 45 minutes. So I will see you then. Now that the potatoes are soft, in comes my kale. I'm gonna try and use this whole bag, which is more than the recipe says, but it's just more health and fitness for us. And 3/4 of a cup of heavy whipping cream. I'm eyeballing that. Hey, we have spent 3 weeks cleaning out the pantries and the freezers, and here's what I'll say about that. Number 1, we've done a pretty good job at making homemade bread, making meal plans based on what I have. I haven't made a huge dent in the freezers, because there is so much there. But I can definitely see a difference in the pantry. Before, I felt like it was jumping out at me, and now it's staying. So if I showed it to you, you probably would not see holes in the pantry yet, because we are continuing this. I'm going to continue to meal plan based on what I have. In fact, let's finish up this video with a reverse meal plan. Let's say for the next 4 days, let's come up with some meals that we can make based on what we already have in the house. Oh my gosh. When you make your meal plan, start with the list. Now, I don't prefer to be like Monday, tacos. I just like to write down tacos. So whichever day I prefer to have them is the day that I'm going to have them. In an effort to really hit the freezers, we're just gonna pull crap out. I have frozen taco meat. Tacos. I don't even know how long these cookies have been here. And then I have these cured ham steaks that my brother gave me. I have a lot of vegetables in my fridge, so I can do ham steaks with just veggies. This would be super easy to get this out, make sure it's warm, have like a variety of veggie sides, boom, done. And then this huge package is out of my freezer. Pork sirloin roast. I have like a Cajun pork roast recipe that is really good with my baked rice. And again, I have veggies, like I have broccoli, I have frozen green beans. We'll do the green beans because they're in the freezer. And to finish it off, we will do a turkey pot pie. And the reason we're doing that is because I have an entire I have an entire turkey carcass from Thanksgiving frozen that we need to, it's taking up all this room. So we're gonna get that out, make a beautiful broth, use that in our turkey pot pie. Very excited. I haven't made a pot pie in a long time and it's a family favorite. That's 4 items, there they are. There's my 4 items. So tomorrow, if I don't feel like tacos, I can just do the Cajun pork roast. Any order that I feel like eating these, I can eat these. So that's how you do a reverse meal plan. I pull open the freezer and I take inspiration from what is there and I base my food around that. So thank you for joining me on today's pantry and freezer clean out and reverse meal planning. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you in the next video and happy eating.